course. Of course you do.
25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in to The Source, WOCA, this Tuesday morning. Right now here at the studios of The Source, it is 65 degrees, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall, just outside the WOCA commissary.
Yep.
By the way, this is the location of the Rosemere Farm, no longer existence.
Yes.
The mall and the college took the land that used to be Rosemere Farm, and I'm guessing some of the other things that are now here. And this is where the first horse that won a major race in Florida came from, right here.
That's pretty cool.
What was the name of the horse again? Gosh, Gorbio? Something like that?
Something like that. I can't
Anyway,
remember.
Gotta remember that.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget
Part of
that.
history.
Oh, yeah. We are broadcasting from a historical spot.
Yep.
Never realized that. All right, so 1 week from today is April 28th. April 28th is a date that we have been working towards. I'm going to get to the flag desecration thing, don't worry, but I'm going to get some light things out of the way first. So 1 week from today is the day that the Kiss the Horse campaign wraps up. The Kiss the Horse campaign, for those who don't know, is a campaign to raise money for the Marion County Literacy Council.
Yep.
Team WOCA is one of those teams. I think there are 12 or so. Robin and I have been going out and playing music. We did it yesterday, by the way.
Yes, we did.
So that we could help raise money for the Literacy Council. And the whole idea is to compete with the other teams to try to raise the most money. Whoever raises the most money gets to kiss the horse. Okay,
Yep.
I guess you all know that.
Yep.
Well, we're not winning. We are not ahead.
No.
We are not ahead. However, I have an idea.
We're not shabby, but
We're not shabby.
You know.
We're doing pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not winning. And so I was thinking I have an idea. Okay, if anybody, and remember what we're doing now, Robin plays mandolin, I play accordion, and the music is old world music. You know, every day, this is what I love. Whenever we've played, it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
People were saying, oh gosh, that reminds me of being back in Europe. And somebody says, oh, it reminds me when I went to visit France. The other day we played at Wakaiwa. I know people pronounce it Wakaiva, but there's two words.
Yeah.
I don't understand this whole thing with Wakaiwa State Park. There's wait, how was it? Wakaiwa? What? Well,
W-E-K-I.
There's one that ends with a W-A.
Yes.
And there's one that ends with a V-A. I think the
Yes.
river ends with V-A, and the park ends with W-A.
Yeah.
So do you pronounce the W like a V, like you do like in German words?
Yeah, that I don't know. We'll have to ask a park ranger because the park rangers
anyway.
will know that.
Anyway, so we went to
People that
Wakaiwa.
work
I'll
there.
pronounce it the way it looks, and then you can correct me. But we went to Wakaiwa, and we were playing there, and some lady came up, and she said, well, now this was an older lady, like our age. and she said, boy, it reminds me of being in Switzerland. And I was like, wow. That was kind of cool. But there were some younger people who came up, and this was kind of cool because I thought young people wouldn't like our music.
Yeah, like in their 20s, early 20s.
Or younger.
Or younger than that, yeah.
And I didn't think they would like it, but they came up and they said, gosh, well, first of all, they were dancing. They really looked like they weren't like goofing on us. They were really like enjoying it.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool. I didn't expect it. But one young woman came up and she was asking about the music. You know, what do you call it? And I called it old world. I don't know. I mean,
I think old world is a great description for it.
It is
because
kind of,
we have all the different,
especially for them,
genres of songs.
But back in its day, it wasn't called old world.
It was
called
modern.
Waltzes. right. Hey, it's even old world to us. I mean, this music is even older than us, so I'm okay with it. But anyway, so she was really liking it, and she said, I never heard music like that before. And other people say, it's good to see people actually playing instruments. And so we get some really nice comments. And it is really a change for us because anybody who knows the music that Robin and I do when we're not doing that, we use technology, but not in this thing. So anyway, so we've been going to places to bring our two instruments to just kind of stroll through or sit as we did yesterday. We didn't stroll yesterday. We just sat there.
Yeah, whatever you request.
Because the folks were eating. And by the way, there was a lady who had to be in her 90s, and she got up and danced, and I was a little worried. I said, oh, geez.
Yeah.
We were doing the
chicken dance.
No, we were doing
the
beer barrel polka. Yeah. Anyway, so we only have a week. And we have a gig tomorrow. We have two gigs tomorrow.
Yeah, one next Tuesday.
One possibly Thursday.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of dates, but here's the thing: we might not be able to squeeze you in between now and next Tuesday. Yeah. So here's my offer: because I'm trying to really win this thing, although I doubt that we will. But still, just for you, if you want us to come by and play, we will. The dollar amount is up to you. We're not asking for anything other than a donation to the Marion County Literacy Council.
Yep.
As you know, we support them because of the great work they do. I absolutely do believe in their mission. So does Robin, obviously. And so, I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't. And people's lives literally are changed when they suddenly can read. When they hadn't been able to read all their lives, suddenly they've got this new skill that you and I take for granted because we can read.
Right.
Okay.
We learned.
So the money pays for their reading lessons because they don't usually have money. I don't think they ever charge anybody.
No, they don't charge
So it's
the clients
absolutely free. And
or the tutors.
So our little
Free.
2 cents part of this is that if you out there or somebody that you think would have a good time having us show up, and we'll play a half hour, whatever you want. I mean, we'll stick around a couple hours if you need us to. Or if you just want us to show up and play for, one just
song,
the chicken
we're
dance
fine.
or just the beer
Yeah.
pub, or just like a French ballad or something. And you want it after next Tuesday. Just call Robin here at the station, 732-8000. She'll give you a rain check.
Yeah.
And as long as you make a donation before next Tuesday.
Yeah, you have to pay before Tuesday.
Yeah, because otherwise, I mean,
you have to pay.
it won't go toward our Kiss the Horse thing.
No, and yesterday was great because it was a business. It was a ribbon cutting and an open house, and it was
Right.
really, really nice. So the ribbon cutting was great. The open house was wonderful, and
Right.
it was absolutely wonderful. Very nice.
All right, so I just wanted to tell you that. All right, now I've used up that time for that. Let me not use up any more time. I told you I wanted to talk about the Flag Desecration Amendment. The Flag Desecration Amendment, often referred to as the Flag Burning Amendment, is a proposed constitutional amendment to the United States Constitution that would allow the United States Congress to prohibit statutorily the physical desecration of the flag of the United States of America. The concept of flag desecration continues to provoke a heated debate over protecting a national symbol, protecting free speech, and protecting the liberty represented by a national symbol. So there was a news story. Okay, now, so the last time this was up for a vote was in 2006, and the United States Senate failed to adopt the flag desecration amendment by one vote. One vote. Now, some people may say it's absolutely disgraceful to desecrate the flag. I agree with you. Some people say, well, like it or not, that flag represents the right to desecrate it. That's the irony there. I agree with that too.
Exactly.
I agree with that. That's crazy, I know, but I agree with that. I also have heard this argument that if you create an amendment or like that, then you set yourself up for somebody coming up with a clever idea of only putting 49 stars, and then they're burning a flag that looks just like the American flag, but you can't be in trouble for it. This is not an American flag, they would say. This is not. It looks like one, but it's not. Count the stars. There's only 49.
Exactly.
And they would pull some of those switcheroo kind of. And I would rather not be duped by somebody who wants to desecrate the flag. Well, anyway, so there was this lady, pretty lady, and being pretty, she had an opportunity to make money with her pretty, and she posed for Playboy magazine. She also served in the United States Air Force. She was a sergeant, as a matter of fact, in the United States Air Force. Her name is Michelle Manhart. Michelle Manhart. How far away is Valdosta, Georgia?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 2 hours.
Not that far, right?
No, it's really quick.
So anyway, she is a veteran. She served with the Air Force. She left her military post after posing nude for Playboy magazine. In the pictures of her in the magazine, she is posing with an American flag. In one picture, at least, she was wearing the flag. Okay. So she was at an event at Valdosta State University. This was on Friday, last Friday. And there were some people demonstrating against racism. And the way they were doing it was they were put an American flag on the ground and they were walking on it. And she witnessed it. And she thought it was disgraceful, so she took the flag. They insisted she give it back. She refused to because she didn't want to see it desecrated, and I'll tell you the rest of the story when we come back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. We'll see clouds and sun today, and there can be a shower with thunderstorm in spots this morning, the high 82 to 86. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, those 62 inland, 70 along the coast. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sunshine. Watch out for a shower or thunderstorm along the coastal areas, the high 83 to 87. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and thunderstorms around, high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
My name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine at A Better You Healthcare's Pokin' for the People Community Acupuncture. Join us every Monday at 4 p.m. for a relaxing and therapeutic community acupuncture session with like-minded, health-conscious individuals from our community. Pricing is only $35. Group sessions involve yoga breathing and acupuncture for the benefit of stress, anxiety, and depression. Unwind and start your week off right. If stress is leaving you a mess, you need a checkup from the neck up. When you're feeling blue, come to A Better You. A Better You Healthcare, just behind the Paddock Mall on 27th Avenue. For further details, visit abetteryouhealthcare.com or call 615-5566. Again, that number is 615-5566.
PPIR is a networking group formed to serve the realtor and small business community. It primarily serves the real estate and construction industry, but is open to all businesses that provide any service or product to the real estate business community. PPIR has no membership dues or fees for attendees. The watchwords are keep it simple and maximize networking time. PPIR chapters generally meet once a month after business hours. For the information on this, call 352-615-9412 or go to events@ppirevents.com. PPIR, professional people in real estate.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
WWOCA, WWOCA.
This is James Snyder inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy, right here on WOCA 1370.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
All right, thank you. 12 minutes now before 8 o'clock. Okay, I was talking to you about the anti-desecration of the American flag amendment and an incident that happened Friday up in Valdosta, Georgia, involving a model, or actually an Air Force veteran, I should say. She's not really a professional model, but she could, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, she looks like she is a professional model, but she's pretty enough that she was asked to pose for Playboy magazine, whatever, and in one of the pictures, she has an American flag draped around her. So there was an incident on Friday, and her name is Michelle Manhart. And what happened was there was a protest against racism in America, and the protesters decided that their way to demonstrate that they were unhappy with the way the disparity between the races was going on. I think the media fuels this more than the actual. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It does happen, but I don't think. I think it's a very minuscule portion of our population that engages in this. But anyway, that's the different discussion. This is about the flag. So Michelle Manhart, takes the flag off of the ground and decides to protect it, or in this case, she said it should be
Retired.
Retired. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. All right. So she says this flag belongs to the entire United States. They were saying, no, that's our flag. You took it from us. And she says, no, it belongs to the entire United States. Well, she's wrong. I mean, you couldn't walk into Walmart and walk out with the flag and they could and say
Yeah.
you can't charge me with stealing this. This doesn't belong to you. This belongs to the entire United States.
Yeah, you gotta pay
you
for
couldn't
it.
do that for this. So for the same reason, you can't take it away from protesters and say this flag belongs to the United States. So therefore, I'm protecting it. But on the other hand, she defended. She is a veteran. She decided to put her life on the line by joining the military, the Air Force, in her case, and so she was defending something that she feels is near and dear to her heart. Now, I think she made a mistake, but at the same time, she's bringing up a point again about desecrating the flag. Anyway, the video has generated controversy on the internet, especially among conservative websites that see Manhart as a hero for defending the flag. But of course, that past of posing in Playboy magazine is haunting her as well.
Right, because she chose to wear that American flag.
So this video, they say, that's been her daughter. I didn't tell you this part. Her daughter had her phone out and she was taking a video of what was going on. The woman ended up getting arrested because she was stealing a flag.
Right,
And,
exactly.
and I don't know that she ever got charged, but that's what they originally arrested her for. I think they also arrested her for resisting arrest because she was resisting arrest. The minute is the video is 6 minutes and 23 seconds long. Those who look at the video say this video demonstrates issues in America that are racial, that have to do with war, that have to do with what they call white privilege. Because they're saying in the video, if this had happened in the hood, you would have arrested a brother right away. One of the police officers was black. Anyway, she did get arrested. But public education is debated in here. Police conduct is debated, although I think the police, in this particular case, were doing their job. Freedom of expression is being debated. Constitutional rights, which is where the Desecration Amendment comes up again. Even pornography and people for the ethical treatment of animals. I'm not so sure where that comes in.
PETA's everywhere. It doesn't.
In Georgia, just so you know, there is a law that says it is abuse of federal, state, or Confederate flag is unlawful. Abuse of the federal, the state, or the Confederate. Oh, wow. The Confederate flag is thrown in there.
Yeah, because it's their flag.
It shall be unlawful for, this is the state of Georgia now. It
Right.
shall be unlawful for any person, firm, or corporation to mutilate, deface, defile, or abuse contemptuously the flag of the United States, the flag, coat of arms, or emblem of the state of Georgia, or the flag or emblem of the Confederate States of America by any act whatsoever. Wow.
Good for them. They already have it.
So let's see what the people out there are saying. Good morning. You're on the phone, on the air. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Larry. This is a fascinating topic, although I have to admit you threw me a curveball with PETA getting involved. I can't imagine what they had to do with it.
Yeah, I don't get that either. That's what it says in the news story.
But this is fascinating on many levels, and I agree with what you said earlier. I don't think there should be a constitutional amendment to stop people from burning the American flag, even though I'm a patriot and there's a flag flying in front of my house right now, but I just don't think that's what the United States is all about. I think if somebody wants to be stupid enough to go out and burn the American flag, they should be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But the larger issue is this woman's reaction. And back in the 1960s, they used to have a term called civil disobedience. That's where you broke the law. Usually a large group of people would go chain themselves to a fence or something like that, or occupy the front steps of some federal building, and then they'd all get arrested. And we've seen that recently sometimes with the protesters, Occupy Wall Street or whatever. They put themselves in a position where they can get arrested, and they call it civil disobedience. And I don't know if this woman planned this or if she just happened to be there and, jumped in on this. But she chose to do something that was illegal. She grabbed those people's property and took it away from them. You can't do that. Even if they are, doing something you don't agree with, or even if they're doing something that's unlawful. Let's say it's unlawful for someone to desecrate the flag like it is in Georgia. She's not a police officer. She can't stop them. She should call the police. But she chose to perform what might be called an act of civil disobedience. She risked arrest. Guess what? She got arrested. So where are these people coming from that say that this was an example of white privilege or that she got away with something? She was arrested. She was handcuffed. I saw the video. There was a couple of officers that grabbed her and kind of like, pinned her and everything. But, they didn't, throw rose petals on the ground as she walked away and just let her waltz off. So I don't understand that element of it. But if people want to protest, they can protest. And if other people want to launch a counter-protest, which this woman launched a one-person counter-protest, that's part of the American, environment too. So it's an interesting topic. I do kind of question her motives. Was she trying to get publicity, or is this just an accident? And I would like to also point out one quick thing, and then I'll hang up. This foolish protest in Valdosta would never have even been noticed by anybody but a handful of students if this woman hadn't stepped in and then posted this video on the internet. Thanks, Larry.
Yeah, all good points. I don't disagree with any of that. I just think, as far as the white privilege part of this, I don't think the conclusion of the video has the white privilege element. I think the white privilege element happens earlier in the video when the police aren't arresting her immediately, and somebody in the crowd says, "If this was in the hood, you would have already arrested a brother." That's the statement, and they're probably right. They probably Anyway, I think it's a pretty privilege. I think when people are pretty, they have privilege.
Yes, they do.
I think if she was an ugly woman, she would have got arrested.
Look at LaFave.
Good morning, you're on.
He didn't put her in jail.
Good morning, you're on the air.
You're on the air. I can understand when people are stomping on a flag because they're, going against their politicians, but they also got to think that there's plenty of blood that's been shed on our ground.
That was her point.
For men and women, that died defending. The flag is not just a flag. It's supposed to be the American people, not the American government, not Obama. And the thing of white privilege, it's kind of funny because certain communities are always pointing fingers at other people and saying, "Oh, this and that." The lady got arrested. But come on, look at the statistics and look at the fact and help your own community out because, there's a lot committing a lot of crimes. There's more in the jails. We need to come together and realize that, okay, if you say that, you're not racist. It's facts. It's the facts. Whether some police are arresting people illegally, their community is out of control. Most of their leadership denies it. And it's going to be a detriment to our country because not only are their communities doing it, then other communities are following it. I think it's the cool thing to do, have your pants hanging down, do this and that. It might sound simple, but it's a whole way of thinking, that I really think is a detriment to our country and to the flag.
All right, and I think that was her point as well. All right, thank you. I appreciate that call.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, and the way we handle it, not just us at this radio show, but I mean as people, is we try to look at each element. I mean, the only way to look at it is to look at each element one at a time and see what's true and what's being exaggerated. What is really true? Well, there is some truth. When somebody has a complaint about the way other people are being treated as a whole, there's a lot of truth to that. But a lot of that is more social behavior than it is law. And if there's a law that needs to be made, then okay, I'm all for it. But you have to think really carefully before you decide to make something a law. I think sometimes, I mean, even like a no smoking law is I think government going too far.
Yeah, and they do have it.
I think there should be a no smoking campaign, which has been very successful. And as far as a no stomping on the flag law, well, obviously Georgia has it as a state. So therefore, technically, the police in Georgia could have arrested the people who were desecrating the flag.
Yep.
Which is interesting that you couldn't desecrate a Confederate flag or even the state of Georgia flag. I don't know if Florida has that or not, but for the United States to have an amendment to the Constitution that prohibits that, it's almost contrary. It is contrary. But I think it's a disgrace to what's the word again?
Desecrate.
Desecrate, thank you. Desecrate the flag. I think it is a disgrace. But at the same time, I think it's a disgrace to put an amendment in the Constitution.
Oh, sure.
See, I was all for it, but then it was pointed out, if somebody puts a red, white, and green flag that looks like the American flag, they could still burn that.
Yeah.
49 stars, they could burn that. It wouldn't be an American flag.
Exactly.
12 stripes, you would never know that it was only 12 stripes.
Right.
They could desecrate that, and you couldn't get in trouble for it. It would still look like an American flag. All right. Anyway, that was an interesting story. I thought you would have something to chew over. Chew
Very
on.
fascinating
Chew on. I'm
stuff.
trying to use an old slang. All right, we'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The penalty phase starts today in Boston for convicted marathon bomber Johar Tsarnaev.
This is the same jury that convicted him a few weeks ago on the 30 federal charges that will ultimately decide whether he lives or dies. The defense will present mitigating factors.
Fox's Molly Line. Bluebell is pulling all its products off shelves in 23 states and internationally.
2 samples of chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream tested positive for listeriosis. Bluebell's chief executive Paul Cruz issued a statement apologizing.
Our entire history has been dedicated to making the very best and highest quality ice cream we possibly could.
Last month's recall was tied to contamination at production lines in Brenham, Texas and Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Eric Sharp of Fox News radio affiliate KTRH in Houston, Texas, and more than 5 million hens could be destroyed at a farm in Iowa hit with the bird flu virus. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Fox News Early Prime, breaking down business news and its impact on your bottom line. Your World with Neil Camuto.
That's how I do business. That's why I am business.
Bold positions and brash opinions on the topics America is buzzing about. The Five.
How do you think this will set in with the American people?
This will be the pulse of the nation.
Washington insight and political know-how from the best in the Beltway. Special report with Brett Baer.
The epicenter of the political world is here.
The #1 place for fair and balanced coverage. Fox News Channel.
What's wrong with